Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream. Today, we are doing something somewhat weird that we were kind of joking about the other day, but I was also somewhat serious. So now we're streaming it, but basically, today we are going to be doing 1 hour straight of opening Spoils of War. This is a kind of interesting development that has happened recently, as far as like its overall value as well as things that are happening to it in the near future. So some things to explain, just to kind of recap why on earth we would want to do something like this. First off, is this pack is currently unlimited, as you can see, but starting next patch in version 4.3 and moving forward, it will be limited to 10 per week, which means you can no longer convert your glory into a gem-related resource directly, which of course would be the event keys. You still do get a few gems from it, but nowhere near the rate at which 180 glory into an event key would be. So that's one of the main reasons why they're nerfing it, as there's way more glory in the game than when this was added like 2 or 3 years ago. That's one of the main reasons. One of the main reasons I'm actually opening it, though, is 2 changes that are happening to event keys. Well, one is for sure. The other one was said by the community manager, but we don't know for sure if it is true yet. But one change that we know for sure that's happening to event keys is the commons and rares will be added to it. You'll be able to get 3 commons from it and 2 rares starting next patch. This may seem like a nerf at first, but however, it is only reducing the ultra rare drop table, and while you'll technically be getting a few less souls if you're disenchanting it, you're overall going to be able to use it for more. Essentially, you'll be able to get everything from a kingdom simply by opening event keys, whereas currently you can only get ultra rare plus. So they're basically just doing that. That's not really a nerf, and if anything, in late game, that's actually more of a buff, since you might have all the higher stuff, but you might still be missing the common or the rare, one single copy of it, so you could use it for that. The other reason is they are supposedly, possibly, slightly increasing the legendary and mythic drop table. This would make sense, as event keys currently cost more than gem keys. However, gem keys and event keys have the exact same rarity drop table, so they might be, while they are adding commons and rares that will make less ultra rares, they might also be buffing the legend and mythic drop rate ever so slightly. Currently, 180 glory keys has about twice the rate of dropping legends and about the same rate of dropping mythics, which technically for the longest time makes 180 glory better than this, which is why I've almost always said in the past that Spoils of War is not worth buying. However, with these changes that they are going to be making, on top of the fact that treasure maps may possibly be buffed later this year, it is kind of worth it. Because if we break down the fact that these 2 treasure maps could potentially be buffed, we will be able to buy about 100 or 500 maps within a couple seconds starting next patch, because they will have a multi-buy option. So obtaining maps won't really be that big of an issue. However, if you are mass buying maps through this method of glory, it will cost you 30 each. So assuming that, it's really only assuming maps are actually going to be like so good that we would want to use our entire stack when they end up buffing it. Probably not, but you never know. If that is the case, these event keys are only costing us essentially 120 glory. So that's really not too bad in the whole scheme of things. So I figured we'd throw down some of our glory. Do keep in mind, I highly advise not spending literally all of your glory. You do want to save at least some reserve for your glory. I would say at absolute minimum 10,000. If you're in late game, probably a few 100,000 you'd want to save. But yeah, we'll be doing it for an hour. That'll probably burn through around 350 to 400,000 of our glory. And obviously that is going to make no difference whatsoever to my stack. It's going to only take out like 1/4 to 1/3. We're still going to have like 800,000, 900,000, so it's not really going to affect us at all. So that's what we're doing here. Anyways, guys, hope you've all been having a good weekend with the gnomes. Let me just go through chat real quick, and then we'll start it, because once we start it, I won't be able to scroll through chat. I will be able to read chat, but I won't be able to scroll through it. But yeah, we'll be basically just be reading chat, doing some commentary, and opening them for an hour straight. Let me actually go get the timer set up too, just so we know the exact hour mark, since I didn't start it literally when the stream started. But hello, Nagatsu. Hello, Zeddicus. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Elite Gaming. No, I do not want to update that program. Let me move that over. There we go. Hello. Where'd it go? Hello, September Black. Hello, Churros. Hello, Lady Dragonheart. Hello, Junior. Hello, Stormwolf. Hello, hello, JZG. Hello, Alluring. Oops. Moving all over the place. Where'd it go? Hello, William. Hello, Michael. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Steve. And let's see. Do we have a countdown clock? Yeah, we have a countdown clock. Wait, is it showing up on screen? Wait, why is it not showing up on screen? Hold up. Why is my... Wait. It's up. Why isn't it showing? 1 second. Trying to figure this out. Oh no! The one time we really need this timer. Why is it not showing up on screen? That's weird. Hold up. 1 second. Technical difficulties. I guess I could always just do another window capture on it, but why on earth is it not picking up right now? Fine, I'll reuse this window capture for that. Oh, I don't have a green screen on it, though. Oh, do I just have it off screen? No. Where's the normal one for the timer? Hold up. 1 second. I think the update that it tried doing made it weird. 1 second. I know I have a thingy for it. We were literally using this yesterday. Let's see. Go to window capture. I should already have a default for it. Why is it not here? Ultra technical difficulties. There we go. That should be it. Is that it? No, it's not picking up on it. Well, okay. Fine. We'll make a new one. Fine. We'll make a new window capture for it if it doesn't want to pick up. Actually, new plan before I do that. Let me restart the program. That'd probably work better. Where even is the program? Why is it not in my task thingy? Okay, anyways. Let me just go clear this out. 1 second. No, we do not want to save it. Okay, now try not to update and actually work this time. Okay, no, it's trying to update again. But regardless, it's not bringing it up. Don't accidentally want to try having 2 timers here in case it starts working all of a sudden. But yeah, let me go bring it up and just green screen it real quick, I guess. Oh, there is the timer. Now let's just go add a green screeny thingy to it. Filters, add, where's chroma key? Chroma key, call it chroma key. We'll use the default because that should be fine. And there we go. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Okay, where's a location we could put this where it stands out? How about that corner right over there? Maybe make it a little bit bigger as well. Oh, come on, make it bigger evenly. Oh, maybe not that big. It's going to become a 1 hour long number by the time the stream ends. But yeah, this entire stream is basically just opening up a bunch of these. Yeah, that should be fine. I don't think that's going to get too big as we increase its number. But anyways. But yeah, there will be our 1 hour timer thingy. Just to see how far we can go, or how many we could actually get. Oh yeah, it would also help if I check how many event keys I currently have. Our current event key stack, let me go type this out to a couple different locations. Oh yes, we're going to have a code beforehand. Thanks for reminding me. It is right there. There's the redeem code. Go use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section, or simply click that link. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to use it by now. I already used it myself. Not going to go over it. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to use it for the most part. If you don't, ask someone in chat. But there we go. Let's see. One other thing I need to go do real quick. What was that? Is this doing something? Now I completely forgot what it was. Yes, thank you. 2173. Let me go copy paste that just in case. I forget. But yeah, because after if we know the difference in that number, we'll know the exact amount. Because however many event keys we've gotten is how many times we bought in the pack. Anyways, let's just practice it real quick so we know the cycle, and then let's get into it. Let me just move chat as well so I can see it the entire time. Let's see. There we go. Oops, let me go scroll backwards. I can't actually scroll backwards in chat while doing it, unfortunately. Why do you have so many resources anyways? We have so many resources because we've been playing this game since the game launched over 4 years ago. So we've had a lot of time to accumulate a lot of resources. Pretty much the entirety of the 1% in the game has essentially infinite resources due to being in excessively good guilds as well as just playing likely for multiple years. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I meant to remind everyone of. Don't forget, 2 of the best resource gaining troops in the entire game are available right now. If you don't own Fairish Raz, you can open Spoils of War right now to try to get Fairish Ra, which is 150% soul gain whenever you use it. Additionally, of course, there is a vault event going on right now where you can go and obtain vault keys from just doing a bunch of explore challenges, PvP, quest lines, stuff like that. So highly advised trying to get a Cedric before the end of this week. because even though he's not a mythic, he's basically as useful as a mythic. He's 100% gold gain. He's basically roccirouva, but for gold instead of souls, and both are available right now. There's also this deal, which is not too bad, which you could probably maybe get him in those 5 keys if you haven't already. If you don't have a Cedric by the end of this week, or, you know, by the time that timer goes out, you might want to consider this. It is a okay, decent deal, and if you end up getting Cedric from it, it would be 100% worth it. And you could also get some other stuff. But, yeah, highly advised trying to get Cedric and roccirouva. Roccirouva you could just do off of Spoils of War if you have no event keys, or simply throw gems at it. And, though ideally you would do it with Spoils of War while you still can. And, ideally for the Cedric you would just farm it manually without spending money, though there is a money option for it this week as well. But anyways, let's go do this now. Let me just go practice it real quick so we know the cycle. We actually don't need any mouse input for it, oddly enough. You can do it just with keyboard and controller. Where'd it go? The glory rewards. Okay, so all we have to do is click it once. Now we'll tell the game which one we know which one we want to do. And then we need to figure out how we want to have our hands set up for this. And then we just do this. And I can just look at chat this entire time without needing to focus my mouse at any certain location. Oh no, until that happens. Yeah, it's 2 clicks, 1 click, 2 click, 1 click, 2 click, wait, 1 click, 2 click, 1 click. Okay, that should be fine. But yeah, it's just that cycle over and over again. It's around 35 to 40 per hour, maybe a little bit more. Once we get the pattern down, we could probably get it really solid. But anyways, let me just go scroll through chat one last time, as I won't be able to after this, and let's get this started. And throughout the entire time, we'll just be talking about stuff, so feel free to ask any questions, or preferably shorter ones, if you can. Or really any of them, as long as it doesn't like move the chat too quickly, because I can't scroll back. Let's see. Hello, Fotis. Hello, Jesse. Hello, Explosion. How to farm it? How to farm what? Glory or Spoils of War? Glory, the best way to farm is, oddly enough, at this current moment in time, go to challenges or explore and keep winning as quickly as possible with something like Sunbird, Firebomb, and just any kind of quick team they can use with Empowered. Main reason for this is Glory Gnomes. It's a Vault event with Glory Gnomes and everything, and Glory Gnomes alone can get you anywhere from like 1,000 to 2,000 glory per hour. It's really nice through Explore. Alternatively, the other way that you get it is from spamming PvP. However, during a Gnome event, I believe Explore and Challenges, oddly enough, give more glory than PvP. The only other time PvP gives pretty good glory is whenever there's a +5 glory troop when used in PvP, but I don't believe that's the case this week. I believe it was +40 souls or something when using Apophysis, which isn't really that useful. Let's see. Will 1 key give 3 commons? Yes. Starting next patch, a event key could give 3 commons or 2 rares over top the ultra rare drop table. They're also supposedly possibly buffing the legendary and mythic drop table. What about that timer? That timer is just to track 1 hour. Is it 4.3 coming tonight or soon? Just in case it's coming tomorrow, I'm doing it now. However, it is most likely coming 1 to 2 weeks from now, early April. But just in case, because you never know, they have done updates out of nowhere before. I am doing it now, just in case it's tomorrow. However, there's a good chance it's not tomorrow. Tomorrow, they'll just be doing the Monday update. Tuesday, and probably the rest of the week, they'll be worrying about the Nintendo Switch release, because we will be streaming that a lot. Not 4.3, but Nintendo Switch release is supposedly this Tuesday, unless it changes. But they're probably going to be busy all week, making sure the launch of Switch goes smoothly. And then the earliest possible time would probably be Monday, Tuesday next week, or Monday, Tuesday the following week. But yes, it could technically happen tomorrow, or even tonight. But it likely will not. It's probably a week or 2 from now, early April. Still no official date on 4.3, but it's soon. Anyways, let's go start the timer and get into this. Let's see. And we can go a little bit over the timer because it's going to take like 5 seconds before it gets started. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I need a mouse click at first, so we'll do that, and that should be fine. Okay. And it begins. Oh, wait. Before I do that, no, it doesn't begin. Hold up. I need to recheck my event keys because I was buying some. Whoops. Because I want to see exactly how many we get in an hour just for fun, in case people want it for reference. In case someone else wants to also buy something, so they know how long it's going to take them approximately. 1 second. Let me go retype out this new number. Let's see. 2,188. Let me get that new number, because that would make our math off slightly if it's not. Okay, there we go. I have updated the number. Let me put it to my copy paste as well, since we already gave out the code. Yeah, if anyone hasn't claimed it yet, there's the code. Oh, never mind. It's already overwritten on my copy paste. Here's the code. Let's see. It should still be active too. Anyways, let me go get the number back on my paste, 2188. And let's get into this. Let me move that over so I can see chat as big as possible. Let's see. Move that. Move that. Hello, Tim. Welcome. Also, so many viewers. Hey, wow. I'm actually surprised we have like 100 viewers for this. But thank you, everyone. Amazing. 100 viewers for watching 1 hour of keys. Though this is kind of funny. Real quick before we start. Though I could be talking while doing this as well. But real quick before we start, this is actually kind of funny because what we're doing right now is very similar to the first live stream I ever did. It's unfortunately not saved anywheres. But about 3 years ago, 3.5, 3? I think it's more like 3. Back when iron keys used to exist in this game, which is like ancient history at this point. But back when iron keys used to exist for this game, we ended up opening up 5,000 iron keys one by one. It was basically like opening 3 glory keys at a time, extremely slowly, is basically what iron keys were. And it took 10 hours to open 5,000 iron keys, one at a time. And that's basically what we're doing now, except we're only doing it for an hour, but it's still kind of the same premise. We're opening one little key thingy at a time until they update it to multi-open, because that's basically what happened there. They ended up converting over to gold keys, or, you know, the key system that we know today. They end up changing iron keys and magic keys to our current system that we know, and they added multi-buy options, and that's kind of like what's happening here. While these aren't really being changed, they are adding multi-buy options. This will be limited to 10 per week, but you'll be able to buy those 10 immediately. As far as the event troop, you'd be able to buy these instantly to Mythic, or hundreds of copies of them if you want. And treasure maps if you really want to, as well as souls, but only the treasure maps would be worth it if you really want to. Could be bought in, I believe, 100 or 500 at a time within seconds. So, gonna be way quicker to get those. But anyways, hello Cherry Top, hello Mulu. Anyways, let's get this started now. Yeah, I actually wish I did have footage of it. We do have some openings of iron keys and magic keys on this channel from ages back. If you go all the way back in like my oldest videos, we do have footage of it. However, the 10-hour long live stream across 2 days, unfortunately, is not saved anywheres. We actually did it oddly enough on Steam. We ended up streaming it. We were actually the most popular stream on Steam at the time because no one was really using the new stream on Steam function at the time. So we were actually #1 with I think like 20 or 30 viewers at the time, which obviously these days is like nothing, but still, it's pretty nice. Anyways, let's go and do this now. Let's see if I get all my clicks right. Let's see, we do that, wait, see, that, and there we go. Okay, now into the cycle. But yeah, I can read chat this entire time. Just don't give any messages that are like too excessively quick because I cannot scroll through chat. So if chat leaves my visible sight, I cannot see it, but it's fine. But yeah, if any of you guys have any questions, anything you want me to go over, just let me know. Otherwise, yeah, it doesn't even take me requiring to look at the screen. So this is a really good social thing to be doing, I guess, because I can literally just talk to you guys the entire time. Normally I have to focus on where on earth the mouse is at any given time. Of course, obviously, to click a bunch of stuff. But this time around, yeah, I don't even need to look at the screen as long as I don't misclick. It's literally just clicking 2 buttons. The confirm button on controller twice, and the escape button on keyboard. I think there might be something on controller that could do it too. But it seems to be convenient doing it this way. But yeah, it's getting it done. You could also do this with mouse if you really wanted to. And then just use keyboard for the escape. Would be the same difference. You just make sure we don't misclick as much. Anyone got a good delve team for Sorrows, Crypt, and I? Let's see. Sea of Sorrows. What was restriction on that? I believe it was brown-blue again. That is definitely Iron Gut team if you have it. And if you don't, you can run a Mang Apothecary into 2 other options that you might have laying around. Otherwise, it's Mountain Crusher or Dragon's Eye, followed by Apothecary, High King Iron Guts, and either Possessed King or any mana generating option or any support option that will really help you make that work. As far as for Crypt, I believe I ran most of Crypt with a Mang, or no, not Mang. No, you can run Mang. Mang you can run literally anywhere. I believe we end up running it with a Rock Troll, Mountain Crusher, Megavore, Arachne, Weaver. There aren't too many really good cheap alternatives for that kingdom, oddly enough. Even though the Pure Faction's the easiest of any of them, technically. Because it's restricted to red and purple, which is a really weird combo, actually. But you can still get away with Mang Skull Spam, because you have purple. So you can just run Mang with a bunch of purple Skull Spams, if you had to, and just play it safe with Titan. As far as Guardians, you would throw it down with, again, the Megavore team. However, it does have access to 4x Divines due to the coloration. So you could go with one of those, and again, every single instance you can get away with Mang. Slightly less so in that kingdom. One other thing to worry about in Guardians is you will sometimes need an Entangle option. One of the best for that is normally just running Sylvanie Mora onto your team, since you do have access to Brown. However, you could also use Yasmin or whatever other Entangle you might want. You could even get away with Leshy if you literally had nothing else. But Entangle is important for the higher delves there. Not just because of the high attack, but also because of the, what's it called? The Gargoyle. The Gargoyle boost ratios off of attack, so you'd want to have some way to avoid it. And as far as that is green-blue, so you can get away with the High King Iron Gut team if you want. However, next best alternative is Mang Apothecary into Skull Spam. Why are they getting rid of Spoils of War? They're not getting rid of it. They're just limiting it to 10 per week, which is obviously much more of a limitation than it currently has, because we're about to buy like over 2,000 of it in an hour. But it's going to be limited to 10 per week starting next patch. And the reason they're doing this is Spoils of War was added about 3 years ago or so, and there's way more glory in the game than before. Actually, there's almost anywhere from like 5 times to 10 times more glory than there in the game currently than when Spoils of War was originally added. So they're basically just adding a limitation on it, because currently people are just converting their glory into event keys, which is basically a gem-related resource. And they generally want us spending gems, obviously, to try to sink them into various stuff, so that we have less gems. So that's one of the main reasons why they're doing it. I'm just stocking up just so we have a decent amount of event keys in case we ever need it. We're probably not even going to need a good majority of these event keys, but worst comes to worst, the maps might be useful. They are buffing maps in the future. How good they will be that we don't know. And also, worst comes to worst, we are getting over 1 million gold for doing this. We calculated out earlier, it's a couple 100,000 souls, or I think it was, around a little over 200,000 souls and a little over 1 million gold. So we are getting that this hour as well, simply from doing this. The worst comes to worst, we're also getting that. But, yeah, event keys are going to have commons and rares in them, which will allow us to focus down the few commons and rares that we might not have if we don't want to use gold keys. They'll probably just use gold keys. And the other thing it'll help with is supposedly they're upgrading the legendary and mythic drop rate possibly ever so slightly. It's probably going to be very trivial, but if they do, it will finally make event keys have a higher legend and mythic drop rate than that of gem keys. Currently, gem keys and event keys have the exact same drop rate, despite event keys being 5 gems more expensive. So that would actually be a nice rebalance for them, and as well as a buff for once, instead of a nerf. But you'll still be able to buy them, just 10 per week instead of literally unlimited. Instead of over 2,000 per hour, you will be limited to 10 per week. Of course, you're always limited by however much glory you have as well. And I did not advise spending all of your glory, of course, as a reminder. There's also a conspiracy that they're just making a lot of mention of this so that everyone, like, dumps their glory down to 0. Definitely don't do that. You should always have a reserve of glory. If nothing else, just to make sure to get the glory troop. But the other reason for it is you never know if they're going to add something in the future that is going to cost glory. Currently, the only things that really cost glory is Spoils of War, the event troop every single week to get it to Mythic, or if you just want to get a few copies of it, and glory keys are the only 3 things that actually cost glory, essentially. There are several other things, but those are the only 3 that are relevant. Let's see. Is the Dragon Bow good? If so, how to use a team? No, Dragon Bow, unfortunately, is not really used for anything. You're talking about that one hero weapon, right? I believe it's off of Archer or something else. I forget what it was off of. But I think it's Archer. But yeah, unfortunately, that weapon is useless. You wouldn't ever use it for anything. As far as green hero weapons, I think the best green hero weapon that you get for free from a hero class is that one Spider one off of Orb Weaver, because it has Web and Mana Drain, which is a pretty decent combo. Are they doing it to the weekly creature as well? No. The weekly creature is still unlimited. you will be able to buy the weekly glory troop as many times as you want. You could buy it all the way up to mythic within within 2 clicks. You could buy it. Oops, I had a brain fade for a second. But yeah, you could buy up to mythic within seconds, or you could buy 100 copies of it, or you could buy 500 copies of it. Obviously, don't do that. But yes, I believe it has a limit of 500. Or it doesn't have a limit of 500, but 500 at a time. So you could buy 500, then another 500, then another 500. But yes, it is unlimited, is the bottom line. You can 2-click. Oh, it's 200 at once. Never mind, not 500. But yeah, still, regardless, it takes like seconds to buy 200 of it if you want. And you can keep buying 200 if you wanted to. Obviously, don't do that. The most you would ever need is like 100 at the absolute most. And normally you would just buy it up to mythic. You click 2 buttons and you instant buy to mythic within seconds. It's a really nice feature. Instead of having to spend like anywhere from a few minutes to almost like 10 minutes trying to get the common upgraded and figuring out how many copies you've gotten and all that, you can simply click 1 button and you get it instantly to mythic. Of course, you still need to go ascend it and everything, but it will give you enough copies within just a few clicks to get it to mythic. It's really nice. They showed it when they did the stream. I unfortunately can't show it on the beta because I'm not allowed to, but we'll be showing in 4.3. But yeah, it's really, really nice. It's one of the better changes that they added, since it saves so much time on Mondays. A lot of quality of life was added next patch. Really small things that are helpful, like that. This is the content that the internet gives us. Yes. Clicking 3 buttons over and over again in order to get unlimited resources before it's gone. Let's see. Yeah, I know. 50,000 glory gone within 6 minutes. And this resource is only accumulated at a maximum of about 1,000 per hour, other than during gnome events. At gnome events, it's quite a bit higher. But it's almost double that. But yeah, on average, glory is only accumulated at about 1,000 per hour. And we are burning through anywhere from 350,000 to 400,000 of it in 1 single hour. So we're basically burning through 350 to 400 hours of glory within 1 hour. That's basically the summary of this stream right now. But yeah, we're burning through 350 to 400 hours of glory in 1 hour. Putting it that way sounds like a lot, actually. But that is exactly what's happening. Also, we'll be able to know the approximate time now, too, if any of you want to go and open this yourself. Obviously, maybe not this many, but if you wanted to do it for 10 minutes and figure out how many you would get, well, we would have the math for that. And this should still be possible for another week or 2, by the way. We have no clue when the patch is coming, but it should be early April. You don't have to do this yet, I don't believe, but you do probably want to do it soon, which is why I wanted to do it today, just in case patch is coming tomorrow. You never know. I wouldn't be surprised. It likely almost guarantees not, though. Just in case. Remember to use event keys before buying low rarity event troops. You could get dozens of... I know, of course. Whenever there is a new legend, or even just any instance where you want to spend event keys on a given week, make sure to spend the event keys that you want to spend before buying the event troop all the way up. The main reason you'd want to do this is it saves you quite a bit of glory. Because let's say, for example, Apophysis. I believe that is a ultra rare, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it's 400 glory. It's an epic. Never mind. So it is an epic. So that would save us 400 glory every single time if we end up getting that off of the event key drop table. So if we were to open, let's say, like 50 event keys, if we were trying to get something from the drop table, let's just say a Fair Shra, or maybe we're trying to get Keeper Souls or something for skull spam teams with Mang, that would end up saving us 400 glory per Apophysis we get prior to Mythic. So yes, you do, if you're opening event keys on any given week, for whatever reason, you do want to make sure you do that prior to buying the glory troop, as it will save you some glory. And that adds up over time. If you do that every single time you ever want to spend your event keys, you can save thousands of glory every single time you do it. So do make sure you do it in that order. Any week where you want to spend event keys, always use your event keys prior to buying the event troop, if you're planning on getting the event troop to Mythic. Same as the raids and invasions. Whenever there's raids and invasions, you always want to buy those packs prior to upgrading your thingy. Oops, come on, wrong button. Just because you might get a few copies from it, which could save you about 1,000 glory. That adds up over time. What's the next kingdom? Next week's kingdom is Glacial Peaks. So the only thing that's really going to be in the drop table is Queen Mab and Skady, or Scotty, however you say her name. Oops. I actually am surprised I haven't clicked out of this menu yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen eventually during this 1 hour stream, or 1 hour timing. But because the stream is going to be like an hour and a half to 2 hours, even though only an hour of it's actually us doing this. Is my finger hurting? Slightly, because of how I have the keyboard. I really should have planned out the keyboard positioning a little bit better. But no, my one doing the controller isn't hurting at all, because the controller is a lot easier to grip. But the one on the keyboard is a little bit of a weird grip that I'm doing on it. Yeah, I know, this is pretty crazy. Look at that, glory go down. Oh no, we're by about the 35-minute mark. We're probably going to have under 1 million glory. I don't think we've had under 1 million glory for like half a year now. But we'll have it back within a few months, most likely. Or maybe longer, I don't know, because we are buying all the glory troops immediately. But, I don't know, you can still farm a lot of glory. We get quite a bit off of legendary tasks, plus whenever there's a vault event, we'll probably farm it a decent amount. What's the fastest way to gain glory? Right now is actually the fastest way to gain glory. The absolute fastest in the entire game way to gain glory is doing explore or challenges during a vault event. And currently it is still a vault event for about another 12 hours as of this recording, or, you know, as of this stream. So yes, right now is the best time to go gain glory. Go win explore and challenges as quickly as you possibly can with some kind of empowered option into a high damage. Normally this is Firebomb into Sunbird, however there are plenty of other options depending on what you have. But it tends to be one of the cheapest one and most consistent as well. But yeah, just run that and just keep winning. And the way that you get glory from that is glory gnomes. Glory gnomes on average are about, I would say, 1,000 to 1,500 glory per hour. It could be even more, though of course it could be slightly less. And yeah, you get a lot of glory from them. Doing PvP during a +5 glory week can also be a little bit over 1,000 glory per hour. However, gnomes are the absolute best way of doing it. The 3 days during a vault event, those 3 days out of every month are the best time to ever farm glory, because the rate is higher than any other instance, plus you get a bunch of other resources while doing so, like vault keys, gem related resources, gem keys, event keys, and other various stuff. But yeah, you still have like 12 hours if you want to go grind for glory at the quickest rate that you can, and that'll be the last time prior to them nerfing it. So yeah, definitely make sure if you have time the next 12 hours, go get some grinding done, because that'll be the last time you can farm glory at the highest possible rate prior to this being nerfed, because the next vault event will 100% be after the next patch. It'll be during 4.3, so it'll be too late to farm glory at that point. So you can still do PvP for it even when it's not a gnome event. The rate will be quite a bit lower than gnomes, but it's still a way to farm glory, especially if there's a +5 glory troop next week, because that obviously helps a lot, getting 5 extra glory per battle. I know, explaining the fastest way to accumulate glory while also doing the fastest way to burn through glory. Actually, then again, I don't think this is actually the fastest way to burn through glory. I think opening 50, using every glory key you have, and then opening 50 glory keys at a time, I believe would burn through glory quicker than what we're doing right now. Because you'd be able to burn through 50 of them, which is 1,000 glory. And while the screen to do that takes a little bit longer than this screen, you'd be burning through way more. We're burning through about 360 glory in the time that, or maybe a little bit more than that. We're burning through about 540 glory in the time that we could burn 1,000 glory by opening 50 glory keys. So technically, this is only half the rate of the quickest. The absolute quickest would be opening glory keys for an hour, but we would never have any need to do that. There's not a single drop underneath glory keys that we need. And event keys are a little bit more useful for me, since there might be content in the future where we would actually need to use event keys, whereas we wouldn't really have anything in the future where we would really need glory keys, other than new mythics. But gem keys are much better to do for new mythics, or VIP keys, either or. And we did the math earlier, which is one of the other reasons why I'm doing this. if we count all of our seals, we currently have a little over 10,000 gem keys. If you count every seal we have from our purple orb into our full stack, it's around 10,500 gem keys. I forget the exact number, but it's a little over 10,000. So that's another reason why I'm trying to buy event keys right now, because we only have, or prior to this, we only had a little over 2,000, and this will bring us to about 4,500 or so, somewhere around there. So it'll make our event key stack a little bit bigger, or a little bit closer to what our gem key stack is. Let it be unlimited for the first week of the patch. Yeah, I really wish they would have made it unlimited initially when the patch first started, so we wouldn't have to do this. Though, then we wouldn't be able to create this amazing content of opening Spoils of War for an entire hour. They didn't do that with the other key either, when they ended up adding the new key system with multi-use. They didn't add any like leeway where you could like multi-use them. You had to open them all one by one prior to the patch, which was a little bit annoying, but also a lot of fun, since it was the last time we ever got to do it. This is the last time we ever get to do this. You cannot do 200 glory keys at a time when buying them, unfortunately. You can do 200 glory keys at a time if you own 200 plus glory keys. However, if you are buying them with pure glory, the maximum you can buy at any given time, if you own 0 glory keys currently, but you own a gigantic glory stack, is only 50 at a time. There is no 200 buy option if you own 0 glory keys, unfortunately. It's a really weird thing, where if you have none of a resource, you can only buy 110 and 50. However, if you have more, it is 150 and 200. There's no 10 option. But when you don't have any keys there, there's no 200 option. But yeah, you can only buy 50 at a time if you have no Volt keys, which means you can only convert your glory into glory keys. Why did I say Volt keys? You can only transfer your glory into glory keys 50 at a time because of that. Even though it shows a 200 button there, once it goes down to 0 keys remaining, it turns into a 50 button. Thank you, JZG. They are going to ban Tacet. It looks like you're exploiting Spoils of War. Ha ha! No, this isn't bannable. Luckily, using controller is not bannable, because it is supported by the game, and even though it allows us to do some things quicker like this, ever so slightly, it's not bannable to use it. Controllers allowed, keyboards allowed, mouse is allowed. Actually, right now we're not even using mouse, we're just using controller and keyboard. But they're all allowed. They did say that the Switch version does not have mouse support. There's a good chance it will not work. However, knowing most things on Nintendo Switch, the keyboard should hopefully still work, which will allow us to type and click the escape button, so mainly just type. But yeah, it's going to be slightly unfortunate. So unfortunately, the quickest way to play the Nintendo Switch version is most likely going to be in handheld mode, which means you use touchscreen as your input for moving, and you use controller to quick cast abilities. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't stream it while in handheld mode. To my understanding, there's currently no way to record the Nintendo Switch, or at least no cheap way to record the Nintendo Switch screen while it is not docked. While it's docked, it's ridiculously easy, but while it's not docked, it's quite a bit more complicated. And I don't believe there's currently any viable way to do it. And even if there is, it's really expensive, most likely, because it requires so many adapters. So we'll just have to play it docked, which isn't that big a deal. Which means we'll be playing it with controller plus keyboard, most likely, but no mouse. They might eventually give it mouse compatibility, but on launch, I don't believe it's going to have mouse compatibility. If anyone else does anything else you want me to go over, let me know. We'll be doing this for another 40 minutes, and then probably just chilling for a few minutes after, just kind of going over stuff. But of course, the good majority of the stream is literally just what we're doing now. Though we're approaching the under 1 million mark very soon. Actually, sit around the 35-minute mark. It might actually be a little bit quicker than that. Didn't realize how quick we can actually get these. Well, I did do a little bit of a timing yesterday, but I'm doing a slightly more efficient method. Plus, after doing it for some time, I'm starting to get better at clicking it. You'll be back in 30 minutes to see how much you spent. We'll see you then. Yeah, we'll be able to calculate out everything. I'll probably put it up on screen too. Might as well. When we go and calculate it out to make it more visually pleasing. Let's see. You had the daily open 30 glory keys like 5 times in the last 2 weeks. You just open 50 these days. Yeah, I don't even bother opening 30 because unfortunately when you have 200 plus keys, the only option is 150 and 200. There's no buy 10 option when you have that many. So unfortunately, if you want to get it done quickly, you do have to waste 20 extra glory keys. But it's not really that big a deal. Initially, I was opening it just 30 glory keys at a time, one by one. But it was so tedious that, yeah, I just do 50 as well whenever it pops up. It's a little bit annoying that you can't just click the 10 button. But, yeah, I just open 50 these days. It wastes 20 glory keys, but, it takes a lot less time, obviously, than clicking one glory key 30 times. Yes, we're still streaming later tonight. We'll still be streaming about 5 hours from now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we do every night. And we'll be going over the new event and all that stuff, as well as everything happening next week. The main noteworthy thing happening next week, there's 2 things. One is the game is likely launching on Nintendo Switch on Tuesday, and we are going to be streaming that an absurd amount of time on a brand new account. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will be doing that a lot the very first week. It's almost going to be the only account we play next week, as well as the other main thing that's coming, if you don't care about the Nintendo Switch version at all, is this Friday we are getting a +1 magic on Darkstone due to a new hero class being added, the Plague Lord for Darkstone, which is also the name of the expansion that they did for their very first Puzzle Quest game. Puzzle Quest 1, Revenge of the Plague Lord, was the very first expansion they ever did. As well as basically what Gems of War is based on. It's kind of funny. The last time we played through Puzzle Quest, the second time, going and reading through all the lore, because we ended up reading through literally all of it, there was actually some things that they ended up taking from that game. Well, actually, a lot of it that they took and basically just implemented directly into Gems of War, which is pretty cool. I think one of the funniest ones was, at the time that we were playing it, it talked about like all these elves and stuff and all the different typings that they had. And at that time, they actually, I don't know if because they looked at the stream or what, probably not. It was probably just like a perfect coincidence. But about a month later, they ended up adding types for all of the elves. Like the wood elves now, the dark elves and everything like that. It was actually something all the way back in Puzzle Quest 1 from like a decade ago. And they ended up implementing it into Gems of War like a year ago. Kind of cool. Yeah, there's a lot of crossover. There's even like literal troop art similes. Like Rockworm is the exact same as like Sea Serpent and a few other things from Puzzle Quest. Green Slime is exactly the same from Green Slime from Puzzle Quest 2. They literally just took the exact same file and added it to Gems of War. And there's other similarities here and there. You break down the entirety of the games. And Puzzle Quest 3 is likely in development. They've never officially announced it, but I'm almost guaranteed they are working on it. They're probably trying to get it out for next console generation, PS5, whatever Xbox is called, and all that stuff. They're probably waiting till next gen before they release it. But I'm pretty sure they're working on it now, and it'll probably be out in like 2021. Because off the success of Gems of War, they could make a lot of money from a good single-player experience that's single buy with no microtransactions. Because that's what all the Puzzle Quests were in the past for the most part. You still have 70k glory. Should you buy more Spoils of War? If you want to, might as well. As long as you feel like you have enough glory to do whatever you want to do with your glory. You should always keep some amount of glory on reserve, though, in case the glory troop in any given week is so good that you want to max it to Mythic. But I would advise at least save 10,000, if nothing else. You should never really dip too much below that, because 10,000 will allow you to upgrade the, I believe, Epic every single time, as well as almost upgrade the Ultra Rare to Mythic if the Epic or Ultra Rare at any given time is really good. It will not be enough for the Rare or Common, I don't believe. The Common is like almost 20,000 glory to max it to Mythic from nothing. And the Rare, I forget what it is off the top of my head, but it's, I think somewhere around 10,000. Or a little bit over. Forget the exact number off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Gogging Good is the first boss from Puzzle Quest 1. It's the exact same troop. It even has similar concept. They're both gold based. Because the Gotten Good in Puzzle Quest 1 had a bunch of gold mechanics and really high damage output in a single instance, and Gems of War versions, basically the same thing, just slightly different. Same general premise. She sells by the seashore, she sells seashells by the seashore. There's no way I'm going to be able to say that many times. Not even remotely close. Also, we're almost at the halfway mark. 30 minutes down, almost. 30 to go. And we've almost already dipped under 1 million glory. All that glory work gone within an hour. It is kind of funny. I do want to see how many hours worth of glory we burned through. Assuming that 1 hour of glory is 1,000. I'm really curious how many hours we've actually burned through in 1 hour. I believe it's going to be close to 400 by the end of this. 400 glory. So why do I even have the headphone in? I don't even really need it. It's almost more in the way than anything. There's nothing audio related that I need. If anything, I need it out so I can hear my finger press the buttons so that I know if it's inputting or not. Because I can hear whenever I click the keyboard or controller. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but I definitely can. Actually, can you guys hear the inputs of the controller and the keyboard? You probably can't hear the keyboard, but you might be able to hear the controller. Because the controller is louder and closer to the mic. Not much I could do about that, unfortunately. Unless I move my arm all the way to the side or something. How likely is it to get Mythic with Glory? Very unlikely. If you go to Terran's World, I believe the link's in the description. Like the one that goes to the spoilers in the description. There is some kind of link that goes to that website. And if you go back to the main menu, and then you go under the key drop table, it'll show you the exact drop rate of stuff. Like the drop rate of getting the mythics per key or legends per key, as well as getting a specific legend or mythic per key. And it breaks down all the percents for everything. I don't have the link for it currently, and I can't go get it because of what we're doing right now. But if anyone knows what I'm referring to, if you could go get that off of Terran's World, the one that shows all the keys and their drop rate percents, that does exist. And it is updated on a weekly basis to reflect whatever the current week is. So, for example, the event key drop table will update to Glacial Peaks on Monday when they update that website. Yeah, what the JZG link that he just posted, that's the link I was referring to. Thank you for that. But yeah, just go use that. It has a lot of useful searches that you can do for that. But yeah, that breaks down all of the current drop table for everything. And it does it by looking at the files in the game. So it's always up to date. Or, you know, it's always accurate as far as whatever percents and everything it says there. Since the stream started, you got 3,500 glory and a Vault key. Very nice. Yeah, I haven't had much time to farm gnomes today. I didn't get any Vault keys from what I did. But yeah, I'm almost done with the gnome grinding for now. Not to mention, after this stream, I'm probably going to start working on just, you know, new content video stuff. I haven't had much time yet today to work on that, and I definitely need to make sure that's done. That's why I wanted to start it on it today instead of tomorrow. Because I know if I waited till tomorrow, something would happen tomorrow unexpectedly, and I would push stuff back, and then I might not get it done. So I do want to make sure I get some of it done today, to make sure that nothing randomly happens that makes it not happen. Because once Tuesday hits, we are spending almost every second of every day for at least a week on the Switch version of Gems of War, just to have fun playing the brand new economy and to see how badly we could break it. Just for fun, just to see what happens with that. But we will be covering a lot of early game content with it, both on stream and soon after, with some various video content, as well as before, of course, for any of you that want to partake or just want to know the info in general for other platforms, because obviously most of the info is relevant to all platforms. The general strategy we'll be doing is relevant to all platforms. The only thing that's going to be somewhat irrelevant is we are going to be trying for leaderboards immediately, which is something that you normally can't do, obviously, when making a brand new account. However, since since Switch version is starting from scratch, we will be able to do that on the Switch version, which will make the early game ever so slightly different. Though if you're playing on the Switch version, it'd be the same, but you know, it's slightly different than some of the other early games. Like if you were to start on PC or mobile, but it's still the same general premise as far as how you go about starting. It's just our resources might start increasing a little bit quicker than normal. Well, both quicker and slower. Because even though we'll be able to do like leaderboard stuff, we will not be able to join an exceptionally good guild. And what I mean by that is guilds are already established in every other platform. So once you get like a footing in the game, or if you have connections or know people in the game, you could already get yourself into a somewhat decent guild. Whereas in the Switch version, that's going to be impossible, kind of. While there are some communications to try to get people who play a lot into guilds, every guild is starting from scratch, so resource rates are going to be way slower than how guilds would be in the current state of the game. Like, obviously, if you go on PC version right now, you could literally try getting yourself into a guild that has like 1 million requirement per week if you have connections. Realistically, the best you would get is like 100,000, but we have no clue how, 100,000 gold requirement. But we have no clue what kind of options will be available in the Switch version. We don't even know how active the Switch version is going to be. Could be the most popular console version, could just be mid-range, could be none at all, who knows. But we'll still be doing it regardless. I feel like it would have a decent amount of population, because unlike PS4 and Xbox One, it is technically a mobile version, because it's Nintendo Switch. You can take it wherever you want. Assuming you have Wi-Fi, you can play the game. So, you can play it wherever. That's quite a bit convenient compared to the other console versions. And one of the biggest advantages it has. I also wish it was cross-platform with PC Mobile. I actually don't want it to be cross-platform with Xbox, oddly enough. Because that would devalue our account if it ever did become that. It would also devalue our account if it became cross-platform with PC Mobile, but I wouldn't mind in that case, because I could actually use it for my main account then, especially if it ever got mouse support. We could just play it on the Switch version instead of ever using PC for it. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's almost guaranteed going to get cross-platform in the future, so do be mindful of that if you do spend money or spend time on there, because the account could potentially be behind other platforms, possibly. But for the launch, as well as at least probably the first several months, though we don't know how long, it will likely be exclusively non-platform. But they are progressively trying to work as many platforms as they can to be cross-platform over time. Let's see. Am I a owner of a guild? Yes. The current guild I'm in of Dragon's Peak, I am technically the owner of. I'm currently not the guild leader of it, and that's for several reasons, just to let other people kind of do it. I have like about 3 people in the guild kind of rotating through it or so. But the other main reason is because I'll be busy with the Switch version, so it won't have as much time to look over the guild. So have someone else doing it at the moment. But yes, Dragon's Peak I am the owner of, as well as I will not be the owner of the Switch version one though. I'm just going to be joining and hopping to whatever the best guild is at a given time, which should hopefully be the one I'm going to initially. But yeah, whatever guild ends up working best at any given time. I'm pretty sure it's the one I'm joining, but I'm not quite sure yet. But I don't want to be an owner of a guild just so we can adjust that if we need. Also because I'm not always going to be this active on it. Obviously we will be initially, but after that it's not going to have as much play on it. I will still always be playing it though, just because it's really convenient having it on Switch. But especially since I could literally just play it while resting in bed if I really wanted to, like before I go to bed or whatever else. Just lay there, relax with a cup of tea, tip it while playing Gems of War on like a tablet. I'm pretty sure people already do that. Just lay back, relax on like your phone or tablet and play it. I haven't really been able to do that because you can't quite do the exact same on obviously a laptop, but I'll be able to do it on Switch once that happens. Let's see. Gems of War has been on Xbox for, Gems of War has been on Xbox for about 3 years now. And there are still people just now finding out about it, yeah. Well, that's in the case of Gems of War in general. Gems of War is still a pretty unpopular game. Not that it's not a good game or anything like that. It's just not really well known because they don't advertise an excessive amount, or really at all. They use social media and stuff, but as far as like actual paid advertisements, I don't think they've really been doing much with it. So it hasn't really gotten too much exposure yet. Though, oddly enough, a game that's really well known, Puzzles and Dragons, which is the same genre. It's like a match 3 game, RPG style, more of a JRPG style, with like anime-looking assets and stuff like that. But that game is way, way more well known than Gems of War. If I'm not mistaken, Gems of War has a bigger player base in it. And if I'm not mistaken, Puzzles and Dragons player base is actually going down at the moment. whereas Gems of War is going up. Well, not every single platform is going up, like Steam is currently going down, or will probably spike down even more due to Nintendo Switch version, because it's just spreading across more platforms. But if I'm not mistaken, Gems of War does have a bigger player base than Puzzles and Dragons, despite Puzzles and Dragons probably being like 10 times more well-known. But that's just because they advertise like crazy. Let's see. Also has dragons in the name. That automatically makes it more popular. Everything with dragons is better. Okay, 23 minutes to go. Also, I didn't really make a big deal when we passed it because I was busy with chatting. But we did pass the 1 million mark, by the way. Oh no, only 6 digits glory. We're poor now. We're not a millionaire with glory. No. Oh well, it'll be... we'll probably have that back in several months. Probably by midsummer we'll have that glory stack back. It'd probably be quicker, but we're going to be spending a lot of glory each week on, of course, whatever the glory troop is. Gems of Dragon's War. Tomorrow is going to be your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Earthbound. Or early happy birthday if I don't get to say it to you tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure you'll be around. Or hopefully. But if not, hope you have a good birthday. You've been playing since launch on Xbox, and you hit level 1,300 yesterday. Very nice. Great late game milestone. You even get an extra stat to celebrate it. I think it's only like an armor or an HP, but still better than nothing. Oh no, Simple. Unfortunately, I see that you just typed a message with a link. Unfortunately, I can't click the show button. I don't know if any of my mods can make it so it's visible. Maybe try separating the link so other people can see it. Because I don't think they can see the link you just posted. There we go. Okay, apparently my moderators can do that. Thank you, whoever did that. Probably JCG. Thank you. There we go. I have no clue what that link is, though. I'll check it later. We'll check it in 21 minutes. Because I can't check it right now. Gotta focus to see how many we get in an hour. Also, I am really surprised I haven't completely over-misclicked this yet. We have misclicked some, but we haven't done like a one where we got out of this menu yet. Hello, gamer. Welcome. Yeah, gems is a really overused term. A really saturated term that has a lot of stuff under it. They kind of chose a pretty bad name for the game. If they called it Puzzle Quest something, it would probably have been way more popular. Or maybe not way more popular, but you know, it would have had more of a findability. Or what is that called? There's a term for that. Findability has a term. It's not searchability either. There's a specific term for how easy something is to find on the internet. I forget what that term is off the top of my head. But them naming it something other than Gems of War would have probably made it more searchable. Because gem is a really saturated term and war is a really saturated term. So they're taking two very saturated terms, combining them together. And unless it gets ridiculously popular, it's going to be behind every other more popular instance of gem and of war. Or, you know, specifically the term gem and war. And of course, of is also pretty popular. But, you know. Because Puzzle Quest is so, is a little bit more general enough that if someone was to, like, type that in, like a quest puzzler or something like that, it would come up. But if something was to type in, like, a, like, gems or match 3 gems, Gems of War might not even come up because there's already so many things saturated with those terms. You're on mobile, so your efficiency is going to be way lower. A mobile still has decent efficiency if it has touchscreen. It's just hard to click because the screen's so small. I have no clue how people play on small screens. I guess it's my fingers are just too big. The phones are getting pretty big these days. Phones are almost like mini tablets at this point, as far as how big they keep making them, or at least some of them. The final stretch. We're almost 3/4 of the way there. And our glory stack is looking like it's almost going to reach 800,000. Also, hello, Humberto. Welcome. What will change on the Spoils of War? There are several things changing on Spoils of War. One is it'll be limited to 10 per week starting next patch, whereas currently it's unlimited. The other change is to the event key themselves. Event keys are going to have commons and rares on them over top the ultra rare drop table sum, so that you'll now be able to get literally every single rarity from the event keys. So if you're still missing a common or rare, you could obtain them through event keys rather than having to spend other keys. Though it's probably more efficient just doing it with gold keys. However, that will be possible in the future. Other than that, the other thing that's going to be changed is they are possibly buffing the legendary and mythic drop rate. That was mentioned by Salty, the community manager. However, we have no official word on if that will be the case until the update happens. And we can look at the game files to see if it actually has gotten higher. But supposedly the legend and mythic drop rate is being increased, which would make sense, because currently event keys cost 5 more gems than gem keys. However, gem keys and event keys have the exact same higher rarity drop table. However, that's probably going to be changed next patch, so that event keys are slightly higher. So yeah, if you want the bunch of glory keys, do them now while you can. Don't overspend your glory, but definitely highly advised to at least spend some of them for some Spoils of War. As it'll be extremely limited starting next patch. It'll still be the same price though. So early game players and mid game players will still be able to buy them pretty easily. You'll be able to buy 10 instantly for 1,800 glory. Unfortunately, you'll only be able to do that once per week. Okay, now my finger on the controller, I mean, not on controller, but on keyboard starting to get sore. I'm having to alternate between like 3 different fingers. We've probably clicked like, we have to click 3 times each. So we also get to know about how many clicks we've done. Of course, it's actually more than however many is 3 times however many we got. However, because of misclicks. However, that would give us an approximate number of times that we've clicked. So if we've clicked, or if we've gotten 2,500 keys, that would be 7,500 clicks. Are treasure maps the best way to get glory? No. The best way to get glory is during a vault event. So right now, for the next like 12 hours or so, doing explore or challenges during a vault event is the quickest way of gaining glory. The other alternative quickest way of obtaining glory is to spend a bunch of time in PvP, particularly on a +5 glory week where you can use a troop that has +5 glory on it. Yeah, PvP on +5 glory week and vault events for those 3 days are the 2 highest rates of glory in the game. And due to how much glory gnomes give, it's actually more glory to do explore and challenges than to do PvP during a vault event. You could do that way, however, to my understanding, it is more glory doing explore and challenges. So if you get lucky, it could make some hours seem more in PvP. It really just depends on preference. Yeah, vault events are the best times for it. Yeah, 92 viewers. We had 100 earlier. Kind of funny. I am actually surprised it's that high. I was expecting more towards like 50 or 60. But thank you everyone for stopping by this Sunday. Spending time with us while you're probably farming vault keys. While you're gaining resources, we are burning through all of ours. Yeah, I figured it would be something fun to do, especially since we'll never be able to do it again, ever. Because once it changes this next patch, this will never be possible again. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's also a pretty good time of day for Europe, which is normally not the time zones I normally stream in. Because right now it's nighttime for Europe area. And normally I stream in like the middle of their night/morning or when they're working. So that doesn't normally work out too well. This times I tend to stream for Europe time. Well, we will be doing some longer streams with the new account, so we will be streaming around this time when doing the newer account. For example, next Wednesday, I'll be probably wake up around, I'm not sure, whenever I end up waking up, but probably around 9, 8, 10, I'm not sure. It depends. But we'll be streaming for like 8, 10, 12 hours straight or something. So that will cover Europe time for sure. Because we'll be doing Nintendo Switch an absurd amount of time when it launches. But yeah, I believe if we start doing Sunday streams, which is something I was talking about in the past, or we'll probably be doing every Sunday now. Sunday is going to start being Nintendo Switch Day. Switch Sundays. Might even start doing that to Saturdays too, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, Switch Sundays. We'll probably start streams around like 1, 2, or 3 p.m. So it's better for Europe time zones. Probably more towards 2. I don't know, 1 or 2. Either or. But somewhere around that time. Not sure exactly yet. But we'll play on the Nintendo Switch version of Gems of War initially, which would be our other account once it gets started. And then we would switch over to actual Nintendo Switch games. Because one of the reasons I haven't been streaming them as much is because it takes a lot of time to switch my stream from Gems of War on PC to Nintendo Switch on Nintendo Switch. But, or, you know, anything on Nintendo Switch. But if we're already playing Gems of War on Nintendo Switch, it takes literal seconds for me to switch from Gems of War to any Nintendo Switch game. So it's a lot more convenient than the current method I would have to use. You know, with Gems of War on Sundays, we'll probably be occasionally streaming things like Mario Kart with it, Smash Bros. If online wants to work properly, which it hasn't in the past, which is one of the reasons I haven't been streaming it. Oh no! We finally misclicked! No! It was a matter of time. Oh no, 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 go back, go back, go back. I knew it was only a matter of time before that happened. But, and other games on Nintendo Switch. But anyways. Well, it happened once. I knew it would happen at least once. It's only a matter of time. It's not a flawless hour. Restart. Run failed. Time to restart. No. It's not going to make that big a difference. It only took like 10 seconds. Not even. If anything, we could add an extra 10 seconds. Which we probably would have to do anyways, because we started a few seconds later since we had to click with mouse and get it situated into the loop. Why are we buying Spoils of War? They're adding commons and rares to it next patch. They are also... I should just put like text on screen telling us, saying why we're buying this. But too late for that. But commons and rares are coming into it next patch, and they're also possibly buffing the drop rate to also have a higher rate for Legends and Mythics. And this pack will only be limited to 10 per week starting next patch, whereas currently it's unlimited. And by unlimited, I mean like 2,000 to 2,500 per hour. Assuming you have the glory, of course. I think we're almost burning through 400,000 glory this hour. It's insane. I said I didn't need to spend. I said for other people, you didn't really need to spend as much. The only reason we're doing this is because we have an absurdly, ridiculously infinite amount of glory. Even after we spend all this glory, our glory stack is still absurdly high. We just had a ridiculously high stack. Now we just have a somewhat high stack. Oops, I almost misclicked again. Wait, have we already burned through 400,000? Oh, wow. Well, we'll be heading to like 450,000 then. We're really efficiently burning through that resource then. Oh, well. Yeah, we might almost hit 500,000 then. In a single hour. Oh, this is enough event keys to last us for the history of this game. I'm pretty sure we're never going to need another event key again after this. Pretty sure. Especially since we're obviously still going to be accumulating event keys after this. It's not like we gain no event keys ever after this. It's just we won't be getting any from Spoils of War, which we've never even gotten any from in the past anyways. So this is just putting our event key. We're basically just using our absurd, essentially what we're doing right now, we're using our absurd glory stack to become a absurd event key stack so that they even out a bit more. That's basically one of the other old reasons why I'm doing this now too. It's to even out my gigantic stacks to be, I'm taking like all my absurdly bigger stacks and making all of them like evenly large stacks of infinite resources. That's what this is helping with as well. And obviously it's not exactly infinite, but pretty close. In the current economy of the game, it nearly is. Especially at the rate at which we gain everything. Through guild and other stuff. This is the event of a lifetime. I know, this kind of is. This is the, basically the first stream we ever did, redone in a different format. That's basically what this is right now. Because as I mentioned a little bit earlier, our first stream we ever did, before we even had a YouTube channel, before we even had a Twitch channel, was on Steam when they added like that streaming feature. And we ended up opening up 5,000 iron keys over the course of 10 hours, over the course of 2 days. It took forever, because you had to do them one at a time and then click 3 times. It's basically like what we're doing now, except a lot less efficient. You had to do it one at a time, and it was even slower one at a time. So it took forever. And that was our first stream we ever ended up doing ages ago. I have no footage of it, unfortunately. We do, if you go back on my channel and click oldest videos, or sort it by oldest, you can see a video of us opening some iron keys. However, that's not what I'm referring to. But basically, imagine that. Go to that iron key video. If someone could link that, that'd be great as well. That iron key video from ages ago. But basically, imagine that iron key video, except 10,000 of them. That's what we did as a stream. As our very first stream. And that's kind of like what we're doing now, except this is less tedious. Because we ended up opening all of those iron keys before they got transformed into the current key system we know today. Because prior to the current key system, it was just iron keys and magic keys. But then they became gold, glory, you know, all the keys we know today. All 6 of those. Yeah, that link right there. I actually can't click on it, but I assume JZG's link that he just posted is the one I'm referring to. That's what keys used to look like when the game launched for the first, I think, 6 months or so. I forget, somewhere around there, like 6 months, year. I think it was more like 6 months or 9 months. That's what keys used to look like. Let's see. You don't know if this has been asked before, but are you going to spend money on the new account? Yes. Every single new account we've ever made, we've kept completely free to play. However, we will be spending $70 on the Nintendo Switch accounts, thanks to a very generous donation by Nick. Also, I don't know if he's actually in stream or ever has been, but thanks again for that. But, yeah, 70 of that's going to actually be used for the video thingy. He ended up giving it around the time that we ended up posting that poll on if we should spend $50 on Death Knight or not. So I assume that's what he wants it to go to, even though he's just thanking me for the content. But regardless, that's what's going to. But yeah, every alternate account we've ever made has been free to play. This is the first one we're ever making where we're buying Death Knight armor, and I'm also going to buy the ring just because we're going to be playing the account so much that we'd actually get value from having that. I've never actually bought the ring before. I forget what it's called. What's that one ring called? That one $20 pack that gives you 50% of all the resources, 50% gold, 50% souls, 50% EXP. We're going to be buying that for the first time ever just because it's going to help the account out. Same as Death Knight. We're basically just getting things that reduce the grind time so that the time that we do use is more efficient. It's basically, yeah, it's Ring of Wonder, thank you. But we're basically just getting those 2 and nothing else, nothing other than those 2. And the reason we're getting those 2 is it makes every single hour we spend in the game more efficient than if we didn't have them. And since we're going to be playing a lot the first month of the game, it's going to work out perfect, particularly the first week, but also just in general, the first month we'll be playing it a lot as well. But yeah, it's basically just going to make every second we use more efficient within the game. That's the main reason why I'm getting those 2. It's mainly going to save us time overall, even though it's going to cost us $70 up front. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens if we actually start an account like that. Because as I mentioned, every account we've ever started has always been 100% free to play. And we've still gotten decent progress on it. Every account I've ever started free to play since mythics have been released, have gotten a mythic before level 100. Just because we use treasure maps to keep our level a little bit lower. I'm not going to be doing that on the Switch version, though. We're going to be power leveling like crazy. For a couple reasons. One is, in the current economy of the game, it's not even as useful for staying a low level as it was in the past. And the other main reason is everyone's starting from nothing. So you might as well just level as quickly as possible because everyone's a low level. Whereas obviously if you start on, like, let's say PC, within like a few weeks you could find level 1000s pretty easily. Whereas on Nintendo Switch version, that will not happen. Most likely, unless someone grinds like crazy. It is technically possible, I believe, to reach level 1000 in a month. But you'd have to play an absurd amount of time. Which we might be doing. We'll see. That's going to be like a really quickly progressed account if so. But we might. Is the stream over after this? Pretty much. We'll do some talking and stuff if any of you still have anything you want to go over. But yes, the stream is basically over after this. And the main reason for that is I don't want the stream going on too long for anyone who just wants to watch us do a gigantic key opening and see the end result. But, yeah, we will be streaming later today, though, in about 5 hours at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That stream will be about an hour or two or so. You know, the normal stream we do every night. But yeah, this stream will be ending almost as soon as that timer goes up. We'll still be around for like maybe another 5 minutes after just to show the results and everything and go over that and talk a bit. But other than that, yeah, pretty much as soon as this ends. Yep, some quick maths to total everything up. You watch my stream like a podcast. Yeah, most people I believe do, for the most part. Either after the fact or just during, while they're just chilling while playing or doing other stuff. If anyone still has any other questions, let me know. I'll make sure to go over it. So you can't buy more than 10. Starting next patch, you will not be able to buy more than 10 Spoils of War per week. That is correct. However, you will be able to buy those 10 within 1 second. Whereas currently it would take about... Actually, it doesn't take that long. It would take like several seconds. How quickly you could do it this way. But it's not going to save much time. But yeah, it's a cap of 10 starting next patch. Whereas right now, obviously, it's unlimited, as this term right there says. How we're able to do this. Oh wow, we're actually going to go down to 750,000 it looks like. We're pretty close. But yeah, I'll do it until 10 seconds after the timer. That's because that one misclick we had and the fact that the start of it was a few seconds off. It's because we had to adjust the mouse and click it and everything. I know, about 500,000 glory destroyed within 1 hour. Yeah, looks like we're going to hit down to 350,000. Well, we'll replenish that in time. So 350,000 is still absurd. We did the math. Even if they added a rare and common as every single new glory troop they ever added, 720,000 glory would last us a year of maxing out every single new glory troop. And it's probably going to be even more than a year. That's just assumed literally every time is a common or a rare, which are the most expensive. But, yeah. I'm gonna miss clicking this. We only have a few more seconds. Let's go to 750,000 because we're already there, and there we go. Okay, stop timer. But anyways, wow. Okay. That was something. Now, math time. Oh, I should have just kept the timer up. Oh well. Alright, let's get rid of it now. So why is my scanner thing going? Get rid of that. Let's get rid of this timer now. No, I do not want to save. Okay, so where were we? Oh, there's a pet. Let's go take our tribute, since obviously we haven't taken it for the last hour because we've been opening keys the last hour. Here's the redeem code I gave out earlier. I'm pretty sure it's dead by now, but 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 1,500 gold. Anyways, math time. Does anyone remember how many keys we had earlier? No, I'm just kidding. I know how many we had. It was 2,188. Whoa! I was not expecting it to go that high. We actually had over 5,000. Sweet. Okay, calculator time. We have a lot of things to go get up on screen. Okay, let's go get a gigantic text box and start figuring some of this out. Where is text? I just want a gigantic text box. What do I currently have this text box set to? I still have that set up to gnomes from ages ago. You guys remember when we did that? That's still set up. Treasure gnomes, 132. And a breakdown of all the loot we got from 132 gnomes. Right over there. But let's go make this bigger and go get the 1 hour of vault key stuff set up. Actually, you know what? Let's save this. History right there. Let's see, what's this other one? That's just a code. Overwrite that one. That's an old code. Don't use that code, it's dead. That's not an actual code. Actually, I want the text to be yellow. Actually, you know what? That's fine. It's still seeable. Anyways, let's go and do some math-related stuffs. First things first. That's not what I need. Let me change this text box some. Okay, so let's change this to 1 hour of Spoils of War. Let's see. Event keys, if I can type. So, math times. Where's the best place to put this? I'll put it there for now. We'll put it on top of an off a gray screen soon, just to make it a little bit easier to see. But anyways, let's go and do that and get ourselves the math done. Let's see, what's that? Move that over. Where was our initial number again? So we need 5,012 minus the initial number, which is right over there, 2188, and that's what we use for all of this. 2,000. Wow, that's even more than I thought it would be. Wow, 2,824 event keys, which comes out to double that in maps. So maps is, we don't need a calculator for that. It's pretty obvious what that is. That is 5,006, if I could type, 648. Let's see, what were the other resources on it again? So we have to take that number and multiply out the, that's not what I want. Multiply out the Spoils of War. So now we do it times 100, which we just add 2 zeros to. So gold is, or not 2 zeros, dude, that would be the souls. But yeah, we need times that by 500. Let me get the calculator for that. So, times that by 500. That comes out to, wow, that's a lot of gold we got. 1,412,000 gold. Divide that by 5, and that's how many souls we got. 2,000 souls. 2,800 typing work. My finger is still like weird after clicking it so many times, or a few fingers because it was alternating between a couple of them. 282,400 souls. And how much glory did we spend? Let's see. Glory. I won't put a dash there. I will say glory. Excuse me, spent. I'm gonna say minus glory. Let's do glory spent. And that is going to be an absurd number. Let's see. It was, oh wait, what was that number again? Oh yeah, it's right there. 2,824 times 180 comes out to, ouch. It was 500,000. A little more than 500,000. It is 508,320 glory spent. Ouch. Which means, how much is that per, let's see, divide that by 0.25 so we know how long it takes in 15 minutes, because I believe that's realistically how much someone would spend in 15 minutes. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. 508 320 times 0.25. So if you were to do this for just 15 minutes, which is more realistic, you would burn through about 127,000 glory if you did it just as efficiently. Though realistically, it's probably more towards 120 or 125, especially if you're not using a controller or something for it. Yeah, about 125,000, I would say, somewhere around there. So if you were to do it for 15 minutes, which is more so a realistic amount that you should do it for. But anyways, let me go get this on a screen that can actually be seen a little bit easier. Let's go to a random global chat. Doesn't matter what it is. Let's just find a global chat number. Spam it. Why won't it let me spam global chat? You have been disconnected from global chat. What? Hello, global chat? Okay, fine. We'll disconnect and reconnect. Global chat, please be fixed next patch. Let's see. Okay, let's go spam one of the other global chat channels. Why is it not letting me join a channel? Okay, I broke global chat. Good job, global chat. Luckily, next patch is global chat fix. This is why we need global chat fix. Okay, I broke global chat. Okay, well, let me try spamming this menu. Let's see. Sorry, anyone who's about to ban me for spamming. Oh no, it's my own guild. I'm allowed to spam my own guild. Sorry, my own guild. There we go. But anyways, now that we have a gray screen, there we go. There we go. So that's all of our results then. Now that's nice and easy to see. There we go. Let me go see chat. I actually couldn't see it while I was doing the thing real quick. There we go. So that's our total results for doing this for 1 hour. We ended up getting 2,824 event keys, 5,648 maps, 1,412,000 gold, 282,400 souls, and all that cost us 508,320 glory, which takes around 508 hours to accumulate, which is an absurd number of time. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. 3 years of hard work gone in an hour. No, we got plenty of other stuff along that time. But yeah, that is like a year and a half worth of glory. Maybe almost like 2 years worth of glory. No, not 2 years worth of glory. But yeah, I would say that's about a year's worth of glory, actually. How much we spent within 1 hour. In the current economy of the game, it's about that much. You actually technically gain more than that in a year, but you spend some of it. But if you count just your net gain of glory in a year in end game, that's basically 1 year worth of glory, yes. Or 508 hours worth of glory, whichever way you look at it. Yeah, that's a lot of glory. But it's worth it, because now if we go and check our stack and everything, we have over 5,000 total event keys. Oh yeah, let's go check our maps. Let me go get that off screen and go check our maps real quick. And go see how big our number is over there. Because that's probably some kind of absurd number as well. Anyways, let me go do that. Where's my chat thingy? Let me get rid of that. Okay, so... maps. What's our current total maps at sitting currently? Our current total of maps is 14,053 treasure maps. That is a lot of maps. We thought we had a lot of maps before. Look at that stack. Well, if they ever buff maps, we are prepared. That's one of the other reasons I somewhat did this as well. In case maps become absurdly good for whatever reason, while we will be able to still mass buy them, next patch, and probably prior if they end up nerfing that too. But just in case they do end up buffing this in the future, it basically was like we were buying event keys for 120 each, assuming they get buffed. And if they don't get buffed, it was like 180 glory each. Either or, not too bad. But yeah, if these maps are actually useful, we have a lot of maps. You can only use about 100 per hour. So, or not even 100 per hour, what am I saying? You can only use about 55 per hour. So what is that divided out? 14,000. That's assuming you're going through them quickly. So that divided by, let's say 55, comes out to 255 and a half hours worth of maps is how many maps we currently have. Which, oddly enough, if we were to use all of that, would make up quite a bit of our glory that we just spent. It would take a while, but it would make up for about a third or almost half, probably more towards a third. About 1/3 of the glory we just spent could be replenished by opening all those maps. Obviously, that's not going to be happening anytime soon unless it gets buffed. But, hey, if they do, we are prepared. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go check chat again, bring this back up. Bring the other thing back up. Where'd it go? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Let me go put that there so it's nice and even. I like how that actually works out perfectly. I didn't even try to do that, but it actually ended up fitting exactly to that window. But, yeah, there's our results of 1 hour of opening Spoils of War, something we will never do again for two obvious reasons. One is it will not be possible soon, and two is it costs 500,000 glory. It costs 500,000 glory. So definitely not doing that a second time, that's for sure. But anyways, guys, does anyone else have anything else you want me to go over real quick? Otherwise, thank you so much for stopping by for this stream. It was definitely a pretty fun experience. I know it wasn't for everyone, but glad you could join us for this. It was definitely interesting, to say the least. So, yeah, got that done. But anyways, guys, any other questions or anything? Otherwise, we'll be back in 4.5 hours for our normal nightly stream. we'll be going over next week's event and, you know, all the normal stuff we do on a Sunday night as we stream every 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed this. I almost want to keep doing it more, to be honest. Unfortunately, for the obvious reason of how much resources it costs, we cannot. we might have a lot of resources. However, they can reach 0, and we do not want them doing that, that's for sure. But, yeah, there we go. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. It was a great time, and I will catch you all later. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Don't forget, before I end out, 3 things I should probably mention real quick. Let me go get this off screen. Don't forget, before the end of this week, it is still possible to end up getting a Cedric within vault keys from doing gnomes. Well, first, don't forget, it's still a vault event, so you still have 11 hours and 30 minutes to go farm gnomes from challenges, explore PvP and stuff before it ends. If you happen to not get Cedric before the end of the thing, this offer is decent value if you do have some spare cash and you find it worth your while. Other than that, Farish Ra is in the event key drop table. So if you wanted to open some, not as many, but if you wanted to open some spoils of war to try to get event keys, Farish Ra for 150% soul gain is in there as well. And yeah, mainly that. Try to get Cedric and Farish Ra before the end of the day, because they are both still available. And if you don't have them, they are both insanely good troops to have for resource gaining. Farish Ra for souls, and Cedric for gold, as well as some for some PvP teams, oddly enough. We forgot to say what team works in Primal Rift. Primal Rift. What color is Primal Rift? I think I forgot to say it because I forget what color it is. I believe it's green purple, right? I ended up running Skull Spam Mang, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I already know what team I ran there. I don't even need to see what color it was. I ended up running Mang, Apothecary, Keeper of Souls, and Possessed King is what I ended up running. Actually, Queen of Aurora I ended up running, though you could run Possessed King, either or. But that's what I ended up running for. I just ran Skull Spam. Do make sure you use Enraged Titan with stun and everything, because they do have Thorns, which has 25% Skull Reflect, and you will kill your hero, or at least remove your barrier. So be mindful of that if using that. But yeah, we ended up just running a Mang team. Mang, Apothecary, Keeper of Souls, and either Queen Aurora, Possessed King, or some kind of other mana accumulation method or something to keep your hero alive. But ideally, you'd want to use Queen Aurora or Possessed King if you own it. What banner with that? Depends if you're using Queen Aurora or not. If you are not using Queen Aurora, you'd want to go green-blue. If you are using Queen Aurora, you'd probably want to go double brown, or some kind of +2 brown, +1 something, -1 something. But yeah, it depends if you're using Queen Aurora or not. If you're not using Queen Aurora, definitely green-blue is your banner to make sure you +1 the Apothecary. Or you could even just give her a single +2, +1. It depends what your other troop is. But you definitely, if you don't use Queen Aurora, want to make sure she can get her mana within 2 turns, regardless of what banner you pick. There's several options that will do that. Depends what your 4th troop is. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. It was a great time, and I'll catch you all later tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and see you soon for the next event. Goodbye, everyone!